Final item, consider approval of participation of associated governments of Northwest Colorado, amicus, and curiae, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, effort in Suncor versus Boulder County and authorization of 15,000 contribution. Todd Starr, Mesa County Attorney, presenting.
Good morning, Commissioners. Todd Starr, Mesa County Attorney. I'm here this morning to request your formal ratification of Mesa County's participation in the amicus brief that was filed at the United States Supreme Court last Thursday in the case of Suncor Energy versus the County Commissioners of Boulder County. That brief is in your packet. The Supreme Court ruled 5-2 that Boulder County and the City of Boulder could pursue a state law tort theory holding energy producers liable for the cumulative effects of global greenhouse gas emissions. The United States Supreme Court granted review in February. If Boulder prevails, energy producers and adjacent industries face unbounded liability for global emissions in any state where they operate. The economic consequences fall most heavily on counties like ours, whose tax base depends on energy production, federal mineral leases, severance tax, property tax on energy infrastructure, and energy sector employment. The associated governments of Northwest Colorado retained the firm of Letowski, Keller, and Cohn, a Denver firm with significant Supreme Court experience. I can tell you the young lady that, Katie, that authored our brief was a clerk to Justice Thomas. The purpose of our amicus is straightforward. It's to make it clear to the Supreme Court that Boulder does not speak for all of Colorado. AG&C has backstopped up to $67,500, and participating counties are contributing what their boards have approved. Approximately 8 Western Slope counties have signed on, including Mesa. I executed the engagement letter on Mesa County's behalf with a $15,000 contribution. Mesa County is listed on the amicus on the brief now before the court, and I'm asking you this morning to ratify both the expenditure and your appearance on the brief. I'm happy to answer any questions. When you're ready, I ask for a motion ratifying the approval.
Questions or comments?
Not a lot of questions. We've been deliberating on this the last few weeks, and there's a lot of implications to this amicus. There are benefits and there are drawbacks. We are benefits of opioid funds right now. And some would say that in the future we may be making an argument against ourselves from some type of opioid fund in the future. However, the broad environmental climate policy that this implicates makes operators in Colorado, makes operators globally subject to county policy, essentially, which I think the impacts of that are far more broad, far more damaging than potentially a future opioid settlement or something like that that could potentially be impacted. So again, Boulder does not speak for Colorado. The Western Slope we are operators in oil and gas, natural gas, mining, for many types of minerals, energy production, and the idea that an impact that happens in another portion of the state could be subject to tort law, I think has implications that we don't even fully understand yet, and I don't think should be subject to state tort. So I am in full support of joining this amicus brief with the Supreme Court.
I'm in full support as well.
I didn't catch that. Say that again.
I'm in full support as well.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm in full support as well. When I ran my campaign, I wanted to differentiate and let the public know that Mesa County operates quite differently than Boulder County. And being in the industry for 37 years, operating a general supply company and taking care of oil and gas and coal mining clients, and seeing that over the years, the damaging legislation that has occurred at the state capitol requiring the state of Colorado to cap greenhouse emissions by 2050. Last week, visiting with Excel Energy and finding that, we're all working towards that goal, but we'll get there maybe. We're still heavily reliant on coal and natural gas, and will be for probably quite some time. Going back in history, 15,000 years ago, we were under an ice age. Sure, there may be some changes in the climate, but anyway, I'm in full support of this measure. So is there any comment from the public today on this item? All right. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0.